DJI once again released a new fly app version 1.13.9 and also another firmware update for the RC2 controller. Let's do this. So hello, welcome once again to the channel, and DJI keeping us quite busy this week with these latest updates. So 1.13.9 has just been released. It's not available on the App Store as yet as recording this video, but it could be any time today or maybe tomorrow. Who knows? That will come forward when it's ready. Before we go any further, I've had lots and lots of comments on this last update that I did, 1.13.8, and some guys out there was having some problems with it. Some of you couldn't actually download it. Now, I think the reason for this is because the update was about this latest dongle that's coming to certain countries and certain regions. I can't see the point personally. However, that's another story. So it might only be available in certain countries, as I've just said. However, 1.13.9 might just release it in your countries now. So that's maybe something that you can look at. I've also had lots of comments of people. I'm going to put these comments up very shortly on some of the problems that's been having, like waypoints, hyperlapses. A couple of updates ago, that was causing some issues. Some of you guys out there are having issues with the quick shots, and that's not functioning quite correctly. I know the voice and the number countdown doesn't match. That's been around for a while. So let's have a quick look into the video and have a look exactly what it's all about. So there's a couple of ways to check. The first one is to go into your settings and then down to the about. Check for updates just here. That will show the fly app update. If that fails, you can then go into your main settings in your main window and check just here on the about section in the main settings. You can check just here where it says aircraft firmware. If we click check up for updates, you'll see it will bring it forward, new firmware available. Click update and that should start the initiation for your download. As you can see just there, DJI RC2 version 01020200, and 2 days ago it was 0100. So that will bring the new firmware for the RC controller, and it will also install the latest 1.13.9 fly app. Once it's installed, you should see there 1.13.9 and the RC firmware 02020200. So that should be all ready to go. I did do a quick flight test. I did go outside and check out some of the features. One of them being the quick shot, because as you know, somebody said that there was having a difficulty with that, and checking through the menus, nothing's changed whatsoever. Now, there was one or two of you that mentioned waypoints and the saved functions of the waypoints when they was reselecting their saved waypoints, as I'm going to do just here. I've got a whole load of waypoints. So I've just loaded one up, and as you can see, that's put the waypoints in. No problem whatsoever. Some of you are saying that it would crash and it wouldn't let you continue, but as you can see just here, it's absolutely fine. And if you look at the map, you can actually see that that's where my waypoint is on the map. I did this quite a few weeks ago, this particular waypoint, about zooms and dolly zooms and stuff like that. So as you can see just here, that loads it absolutely fine. Something I didn't check on the last update, but if you've been having this issue, then hopefully that this will sort the problem out for you. I did say earlier that there was a new firmware for the DJI Air 3, and as you can see there, version 01001400, lots of zeros. So if you've got the Air 3, there is a new firmware for the aircraft. So I went with this very, very short flight test. I popped out this morning just to try it. Somebody had mentioned about the compass being a little bit better. I can't see any difference whatsoever. I know I've got the aircraft in the centre, but the first test I'm going to do is the quick shot, because there are one or two of you saying that there was an issue with this. I've never found this a problem, to be quite honest with you. However, I thought I'd just execute a quick droney, and the countdown marker's just there. Doesn't actually match the voice in the screen recording, but that's been like that for a very, very long time. But what people were saying was, or certain couple of people were saying, that it does the droney, as you can see just here, it's doing the droney, and then on its return it would then be very erratic coming back towards the starting point. But to be quite honest with you, I've not known that be a problem in the past, and it's certainly been fine for me, and I can only report on what I actually find. But as you can see, that's executed that absolutely spot on. So just a little bit of a quick fly around and just check a couple of other things. It is always advisable to check your settings after any firmware update, because sometimes, as you know, things do get altered. In the last video that I did, my gain and expo settings had all altered, so it's always best to come out and take a flight around, go into your settings and check things, make sure you've got it set exactly how it was or how you like it. On this particular occasion, checking my settings, it was absolutely spot on. Just checking the vertical against the portrait mode, and that seems to be working fine. Like I say, you can go on forever and ever checking these things and making sure that your settings are right. And if I was to do that on every setting and go through everything and test absolutely everything, we'd be here for a month. So I'm not going to do that. Just going to do a quick return to home. Always like to test that one out, make sure it's fine. Just checking there again the altitude settings, and it's already set on optimal, so when the return to home, it should stay at 100 feet or 107 feet on its way back. So I think we'll call that one done. That's the test complete. Let's summarize it back in the studio. So there you go, in a nutshell. It's a new fly app, a new firmware for the RC2, and also a new firmware, aircraft firmware for the Air 3 as well. So if you've got that bad boy, there is a firmware update for that. So in a nutshell, what does it bring us? Absolutely nothing, but it might have fixed some problems for you guys out there. Now, some of you have said that they're not updating, that their aircraft and their controllers are working absolutely fine, and they're not going to update. That is entirely up to you. That's your choice out there. I'm bringing these fly app updates and firmware updates just because here in the UK, it's part of our conditions that your equipment is with the latest firmware. So that's something that we do. And I like to bring these updates along just so you guys can have that choice. So hope you got something out of the video. And if you have, don't forget, as always, give us the old thumbs up. It does help the video. And if you're new around here, why don't you consider subscribing, dinging the dong, and all the rest of it that goes with it. I'm sure you know me by now. And you might like to watch those couple of videos over there. One is the latest fly app from 2 days ago, and the other one is what YouTube recommend that you watch. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.